but I have learned that there's something about God, something that he has that will always get you up to a point in time when you're able to look back through your rearview mirror and say that if it had not been for the Lord on my side, if it had not been for his amazing grace, I wouldn't be where I am today. And that's what I want to talk to you about this morning. That thing that is called God's amazing. Does anyone know what I'm talking about? Is there anyone who could come up in front of this congregation and you'd have a testimony to give because you've been through the test? And consequently, you have something to say about God and what he's able to do when the world says it can't be done. What he's able to do when the world says that you're not worthwhile. He's able to do everything because of his amazing grace. Amen? Amen. The psalmist wrote a few words in this 121st psalm that I believe it tells us what we need to focus on when we are going through times of trouble. And I'm here to tell you that if you're not going through a time of trouble and struggle right now, just keep living. Because if you're not going through something, you're coming out of something. And if you're not coming out of something, I'm here to tell you that you will be going into something. But the psalmist says, I lift up my eyes to the hills. Where does my help come from? My help comes from the Lord, the maker of heaven and earth. Well, what do we know about the one who was the maker of heaven and earth? He says, he will not let your foot slip. He who watches over you will not slumber. Indeed, he who watches over Israel will neither slumber nor sleep. The Lord watches over you. The Lord is your shade at your right hand. The sun will not harm you by day, nor the moon by night. The Lord will keep you from all harm. Say amen, somebody. He will watch over your life. The Lord will watch over your coming and your going. You're coming into trouble and you're going out of trouble, both now and forevermore. I believe that the psalmist knew that it wasn't all about the hills. It was about who was in the hills. He knew that there was nothing magical about the mountains. It was something showed up awesome and amazing about the one who lived on high. He said that my help comes not from the mountains where I'm looking, not from the hills where I'm turning my eyes. He said my help coming from the Lord. Psalmist went on and he said, now, in case you don't know why you should understand that he's the one who's able, he said, I need to just remind you of a few things. He said he's the one who made heaven and earth. That should tell you something about his power, should tell you something about his ability. If he's able to take something out of nothing and create everything, there must be something about this man called Jesus. If he's able to have hills filled with cattle, if he's able to do everything and give you everything and supply you every need, there must be something about this man. If he's the one who's able to be here and there at the same time, there must be something about him that should cause you to look to him when you're in the time of your trouble. Well, in our text, if we go back to it, you look at that third verse, he says that he will not suffer your foot to be moved. In the 7th chapter of Matthew, Jesus is talking to us, and he says that whoever hears the sayings of his, whoever hears my sayings, whoever hears my preaching, and if he or she will do the things that I talked to you about, Jesus said that you'll be like a wise man who builds his house upon a rock, and the rain comes down on that house, and the floods come up, and the winds blow hard. They beat upon the house, but the house fell not. Why? Because it was founded upon a rock. The psalmist knew something about who can plant you on a rock when he said he will not allow your foot to stumble. I'm here to tell you that if you understand that your help cometh from the Lord, if you put your faith in him and him alone, if you trust in him with all that you have and all that you are, it doesn't matter what Satan throws at you, and Satan will give you always his best shot. It doesn't matter what comes down upon you from those who have what they consider authority over you. It doesn't matter what your friends do to you. It doesn't even matter what those that you are supposed to be in charge of do for you or try to do against you. If you are planted on a solid rock, I'm here to tell you that your foot will not be stumbled. You will not be knocked aside. You will be able to stand and declare that my God is able.